All right, hello everyone. Good to see you, Paul Tranning, back again. Hopefully you're not too sick of me, because yeah, that'd be very sad. And yeah, just finished up the daily creative challenge. I changed clothes, and now it's time for my Photoshop masterclass. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for that. Bobby Orlando's in the house. Hello again. Oh, thank you. You like my dad's sweater? I thought I'd kind of change up the environment, get in the mood for creating a surreal winter poster, winter wonderland, if you will. So that is the plan, just getting in the mood. And again, another shirt. You're exactly right. Get in the mode, just get in the groove of creating a winter wonderland or winter landscape. As you'll see here in a second. In fact, I'll just kind of switch over. Zoop. There we go. This is, again, just currently what I'm working on. I have a couple different scenarios that I want to cover. Hello, Stony. Good to see you. Have this nice little image, right? So I'm basically going to do two compositions is the plan. Sort of winter themed is the idea. So I have this one where I'm gonna sort of do a Photoshop comp and put some fantastical subject within the trees, but I also have these trees, some other images, and then a bunch of resources that I'll be using out here as well. Okay, so notice how I actually have this one, which I love. Let's open this up. Also is very nice. So again, just kind of determining the background for the subject matter that I'm going to drop in. So I have one that's just going to be like landscape. Another one's going to be like kind of like an ice queen as well. So I have this image and it's like putting her in an environment and making her look like an ice queen. She already kind of has that sort of, it's already kind of cool tones. There's already a splash of glitter, right? Which can easily be like frost. So that's the plan if you guys are up for it, huh? She does have these weird things right here. I don't know what this is all about. Again, I got these on Adobe Stock, just so you know. But I'll just kind of jump in, select this, do a content aware fill right there. And she's going to be iced over. I'm not going to worry too much about this. This part's going to be a little tricky. But yeah, that's fine. There we go. Boom, boom. Okay, cool. It's going to be small. She's going to be iced over, so it's okay. Ice Queen. Yeah, so hopefully that's going to be fun, right? Oh, thank you, Bobby Orlando. I think it's going to be a blast. So let's take her. And here we have this queen. And let's start. Not all of her is going to be iced over, but I think there's magic in her fingers, right? So that's where we're going to start. You're worried about this Ice Queen? Oh, no. Tell me why, Biola. Totally want to know. So yeah, anyway, so I kind of want to like give her some magic in her fingers because she has the magic, the ability to freeze things, which is awesome. So I'll do Command J just to jump that layer. I'm going to just jump in and use the quick selection tool because I want to select her hand, but I could also use the select subject. What is it? The object selection tool as well. So use whichever one will work for you. Hold down the shift key and we can try object selection tool to kind of grab these fingers, right? Should snap to it. Works out great. I actually want to grab the whole hand. This object selection tool is really good for the edges where I want it to just grab these knuckles right here. So just using this to select. Hello everyone. Yeah, stay warm out there, folks. Let's grab that part. So I'm going to show you how to like make frost or yeah, just some frozen elements is the plan right in here. Okay, and again, just starting with this soon to be layer mask. Okay, let's just switch over to the lasso tool. People give the lasso tool like a hard time, but it is like the most exact for selecting. Okay, we'll get this whole part. We're not going to need it all. There we are. We have her hand selected. We want to kind of remove from this spot. How do we do that? I typically will use, again, quick selection tool, hold down the option key, click to subtract. Option key, click to subtract. You might have a different way of doing things, which is also great. Okay, so there that is. Let's go ahead and mask it. Click. We have the hand isolated that we're going to freeze over. Oh, wait. And then run the landscape filter. Wait. What's up, Tim? Talk to me. I've seen it on another stream. I'm totally curious as to what you're talking about. Hopefully you haven't seen this image on another stream. But yeah, we're not surprised that somebody has done, you know, something like this before, because that's bound to happen, right? Especially since we're diving into the winter time. Yeah, so let me know. Yeah, so yeah, we could do the I'm not going to use the winter slider. I'm not going to do that landscape filter thing. I can, but I'm actually going to use harmonization. Might work out better, just so you know. But we'll call this hand. There we are. Okay, so let's make that a smart object. Now we have this hand right here. I'm going to take that hand and we're going to kind of freeze it, okay? An easy way to do this is using a filter. We'll go up to filter gallery is what we're going to... Tim did it. Okay, so Tim did winter. Yeah, awesome. Winter slider. That's not what I'm doing today, just so you know. But good job. Did you use the same image? Answer me, Tim. Let me know. Let me know if you used the same image, because I don't want that to be the case. Otherwise, I will switch it up right now. That's why I have 2 designs ready to go. So right in here, you can see all these different options right in here. Paint dabs, rough pastels, sponge, things like that. Plastic wrap. Oh, you used your portrait. Oh, even better. Okay, good. I would use your portrait too if I had your photo. So again, plastic wrap is going to kind of give you the best look. Anytime you have, like, honestly, when you have more detail in the image, you're going to have better results. So right in here, this is the sort of, I don't know, enveloping or plastic wrappiness that we like. Okay, there's a little less up here. We could adjust accordingly based on the highlight strength. I usually crank that all the way up, and then we can crank up the detail to get more. But it's going to be a fine balance between like trying to get more detail up here, but not make it look too crazy down below. But let's just go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave it right there. Smoothness is in the middle. Detail, highlight strength kind of cranked all the way up. Okay. Poor shriveled hand. So here's another thing you could do is you could stack these. So if you want more, you could stack another plastic wrap on top, right? Don't really want to do that, but I could use something like spatter, for instance. Spatter is going to make it look even more rough as well. Let's twirl this down. We have something called glass. Sure enough, yeah, that will go ahead and give you that glass distortion too. So it does it on top. Right, but we could use this a couple different ways. I'm going to have more control if I have one layer that's plastic wrap and another layer that's glass. So this is my plastic wrap layer, right? We could duplicate that hand, go in here, and the second one will be glass. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. It's glass. We want it less smooth. We want a fair amount of distortion. Click OK. And there we have that. One that's glass, one that's the hand as well. All right. Hopefully this is making sense so far. We have not colorized or done anything with this. I'm not crazy. Like, look, it made it muddy. Look at that muddy part in there. Well, hey, you know what? We could use a couple different things. We'd use like a photo filter. If we wanted to cool it down, we can do that. Okay, so we'll do a cooling filter, right? Does so much. We can add that color, crank that up, and make sure it's only clipped to the hand, by the way. Now it's clipped. That looks extremely fake, and again, that's why I'm kind of showing this to you. All right? looks a little fakey, right? So let's go beyond that. Photo filter. Go in here, we'll go into human saturation, we'll clip it, right? And from here we can shift the tones, right? Or even just colorize it. You straight up colorize it and drag that to a teal or a blue and take the saturation down, right? And you also have control over the lightness to kind of get this where we want it, okay? Yeah, so that's only the first part, by the way. I know it doesn't look realistic yet, but it's going to be cool in a second, right? Notice how I missed this one part right in here, right? Did anybody catch that? I'm sure somebody did, and they're like, Paul, do it right. Can you just do it right, Paul? That's what somebody's saying. Can you just do it right, Paul? Just do it right the first time. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get that part. Let's bring it back. There it is. And again, maybe remove. Get that part in there. There we go. Save. Okay, fixed. Ice cold hand, still looking fake, right? Remember, this is actually just being clipped to this one hand. Let's play with blend modes, because as we go into blend modes, we're going to get some sort of unique features out of this, right? Where you can see her hand looks almost dead when we go to hard light, right? But start playing with some of these elements right down here. It's going to give me a little just more flexibility. Maybe it looks good. Hey, we're going to clean it up right now. So I should just stop talking and just make it better. Because that's what you're saying. Hey, Paul, can you just make it better? There is the, as you can see, this is the glass effect, right? Makes it a little rough around the edges. It's okay. I'm just trying out some things. I think we'll stick with hard light. Let's add a little bit of magic coming off of her hands as well. Oh, Michelle, you're so positive. Thank you so much. Let's add a little bit of magic coming off of her fingers, because this is where the frost is happening. In fact, what I should do is probably add a new layer with a good frost color. B for brush, right click. In fact, let's just go to soft round, right? And make sure the flow, take that down as well. And we can give a tint of a color on the end right there, right? So that's all I'm doing. It's like, give it a little, I actually really like this color. This actually is working out pretty well. Let's have it just affect the light areas. We'll change that to screen. Now it's just kind of affecting more of the light areas, right? And sort of that's that magic that we want. Let's go to hand. Let's add a layer mask there, or excuse me, layer mask to that group. Then we'll play with some brushes. So let's just grab sort of real oils, maybe I'll actually use a regular brush, soft round. Wait for it. Brush, soft round. And this time, I'm going to change the mode to dissolve. So right down there, I'm just giving it a little bit of a dissolve. So it's going to give it that sort of chunky look down here, right? It's supposed to kind of melt into her wrist right there. Okay, so that looks a little better. Okay, we got that. Zoolander. Hand models are different breed. Let's add some magic right up here, okay? So this is going to be really fun. New layer. Let's add some magic. That's what we even call the layer. We're going to use a brush. We'll open up our brush panel. Yeah, hopefully you're using... let's actually remove that. Add as many brushes as you want. You have legacy brushes in here, but get more brushes. I think I've gotten concept brushes. So let's take a look at these concept brushes. From Kyle T. Webster. There we go. Concept brushes, right? For special effects and textures and all that fun stuff. Birds, clouds, foliage, rocks. That's awesome. You know, and that's what I do. I load this up with too many things. I don't remember. Lens flare brushes. Oh yeah, we could use the lens flare brushes too. Awesome. But right in here, I want to add some like snow. So there's going to be like some snow and some like dust coming off of it. So let's type in snow. And sure enough, it's one of the concept brushes. In fact, there's a number of snow brushes right in here. Compliments of Kyle T. Webster. Snowfall mix, for instance. Let's select that. Let's make sure we're on white and on this magic layer, right? And again, we can just kind of click and see what we get. Just like a spattering, just ever so slightly, of some snow kind of coming off of her fingers. Let's try this snow mixed too, and we'll just experiment with this. That's a little much. Oh, this is what I want. This is what I'm talking about. Here's the magic. Check this out. Again, I did not make this. You gotta thank Kyle T. Webster, but look at this. Look at these brushes. There we go. They're actually little snowflakes. And that's exactly what I want to use. Right? These little snowflakes kind of coming off her hand, right? So I'm going to attempt to add a little bit more of this. Which will be fun, but let's take this to the next level. You ready for this? Let's go to, let's have it kind of, all the snowflakes can't just be white. Sure they can, but we want to kind of have some fun with this and make them different colors. So with that brush selected, we'll go into brush settings. We'll turn on color dynamics. So what I want to do is I want to bounce between the foreground and background colors. So I have this per tip, foreground, background jitter. I just have that cranked all the way up. And here's my foreground and background color. So it's going to bounce between those colors. So we'll get a little bit of blue in there, right? Might be a lot of blue in this case. Let's put some more right down there. Again, that's where the main frost is coming from. But you can see what it's doing, just giving me like a little bit of color in this case, giving her that magic is the idea. Okay. Yeah, it's like, you know what? Kyle needs to make more brushes. Can somebody contact him and be like, hey, buddy, I think you need more brushes. All right. You need more brushes, buddy. Come on, really? You only have 15,000? Just kidding. Easily do a little overkill. All right, so I haven't played with the tone of the overall image just yet, and she is like the Snow Queen, so I want to put her in a different environment. So let's do that. By the way, we'll just group these together. Call this Snow. Let's take our lovely queen right here. We'll just jump that layer, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go into properties and remove background. Bam! Let's see what it did by adding another background. So over here, too dark. We're gonna work on that one later. Let's see what else we have. This image maybe, or this one, or this one. Heck, let's open them all up. A little dark, a little spooky. That one's not bad. Let's actually take this one. But just to show you the masking that went on, and how well it did with the hair, by the way. There that is. Smart object. Make it a smart object before we jump in and blur it out. So we'll just use Gaussian blur. Start to blur out that background. Wait for it, wait for it. It's a very big image. Right, so we want kind of something like that. Like we want the hint. We don't really want them to, like we want it to give hints of trees and maybe it's outside during the day or something like that. Yeah, kind of like that, right? Okay. But again, she doesn't quite fully match the background, and her hair needs a little bit of work. First of all, can we just kind of just revel in the fact of how well of a masking job it did just by clicking one button? Can we talk about that? It's amazing. Double click on that layer mask, jump in here, refine edge. Keep in mind, you can always crank up that opacity of that background, the black, so we could see some of this. So now I can kind of come in and just scrub through some of these like hazy parts, just so that background is being shown and not this crazy haziness, right? So that's what I'm doing. I would love to see her hair frosted, actually. Who wants that? Come on, she needs to have like white hair. How cool would that be? Right, it did get some of her cheek. Hey, let's just jump in there. Let's remove, oh, wrong button. Bring it back. Same mistake twice. Let's bring back her face right here. It's like, okay, how steady is your hand? Easy. Easy, careful. I usually click outside, so it's kind of sampling the background, and then scrub in to the hair. Okay, we'll output this as a layer mask, click OK. Right, and that did, again, just did a better job. All right, blue hair. Let's keep it cool. Good job, Tim. Let's do that. And Tim, you probably went through a lot of this. We have our lovely queen. We'll make that a smart object. And now I want to match her to the background, like make it look like she's in that environment. And we'll try this out. We'll go to filter since it is new. Neural filters. Tim mentioned you could use landscape mixer if you wanted to, but I want to do harmonization. We want to harmonize this photo with the background photo. Where's the background photo? Let's take a look. It's clear down here, layer 11. Click. It'll take those colors, even though it's blurred out, and match it here. And I've had this happen, is it just really amps up a lot of that color. We'll just take a lot of that saturation down. And ultimately, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be less saturation for this image overall. Is gonna give us sort of the better, the look we're going for, okay? Just kind of playing with some of these sliders, taking that saturation down. And I think we're having a problem with having a little bit of a problem with like this white right in there. So let's take a look. Yep. Okay, so when I did the select subject, it didn't get all of that. So not to worry. Again, somebody was probably like, fix it, Paul. I will sometimes actually use the refine edge brush in some of these parts. Again, could work. Also, what we added in here is the object selection tool. So we're used to seeing this. Well, guess what? We'll do a subtract. So hold down the option key. And rather than me having to select this with a lasso tool like I would usually do, it actually finds that area. Again, I'm holding down the option key because I want to remove. Bam! Magically removes. So again, I love that the object selection tool is in here in the select and mask interface, so we could do those fun removals. Because I used to have to do this by hand. I would just use the lasso tool. Right, which you have varying levels of success with it, depending on how much coffee you have and how jittery you are. But how magical is that? All right, now I have that fixed. We can jump back out. Save, close. I'm burning up. Hope you don't mind. Even though we're dealing with a winter wonderland, it's awfully hot. Boom, we're back. We're back, baby. Heck, I would even crank up the saturation on the background. Cool. She has magic in her fingertips. And the great thing is, I kind of want to do the same thing to this other hand. Can I do that really fast? Let's take this. Let's jump it. Let's put it in here. Why not? Heck, let's just rasterize this layer because I'm feeling crazy. And yeah, let's go through. Object selection tool. Let's just grab this hand. There we are. Mask it out. Bam. Okay, so there it is. Here's our other hand. And again, smart object. This is her left hand. And we can start taking these. Since I already did all this work, I could take these filters and start applying them. So I could hold down the Option key, click and drag it up, and apply it. Same thing for this one. Click and drag it up and apply it, right? So now I've applied those two effects. I did not apply the lighten, but I'm going to apply the lighten now. And you ready for this magic? Who's ready for this magic? Yeah, turquoise to sweet purple. Actually, looks what sort of craziness is going on right there now? How do I get rid of it? What happened to the... Oh, okay, so this is what happened. So I have this, happens to be the plastic wrap right up here. I'm sorry, this is a little confusing. Let's actually move this down. I actually removed the plastic wrap. If you hold down the Option key, that's going to duplicate it. If you don't hold down the Option key, it moves it. So I accidentally moved that effect. Didn't I? I'm losing my mind. Plastic wrap. I'm losing my mind, people. Oh, this is it. Oh, come on. Did anybody catch that? Does anybody see the issue? Hey, I was going so fast. I moved these. These are actually clipping masks. So these hands were disappearing because they were being clipped by this hand. So let's just do that. Boom. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right. There you are. And all that good stuff. Guess what? I don't need to use clipping masks. So let's nest all this up. Let's get rid of that. And let's do this. You ready for this? This is my favorite. Christelle, Biola. Let me click over there. Oh, Andrea. Oh, good to see you, Andrea. Stina as well. Awesome. Hello. So this is my favorite, like, new tip. Because notice how this hue and saturation is affecting everything. Right? I could make this a clipping mask, and this is what I used to do. I'd be like, okay, well, this needs to be clipped to that to tint just that hand, and then I gotta duplicate it and move it down here. No, no, no. You could do this. You could take this hue and saturation layer, say, hey, you know what? Keep all of these effects, whether it's a photo filter or whatever, keep them contained within this folder. So it's only going to affect the stuff in this folder. So no reason to use clipping masks. How do we do that? We'll go up to this folder right here, and instead of having this pass through So instead of having the effects pass through to the bottom layer, we want to change this to normal. Right? There you have it. Again, here's pass through and here's normal. And now these effects just affect the hands. Okay. Again, I think that's pretty cool. I don't even think this, I think really plastic wrap is doing all the heavy lifting. All right, B for brush. Guess what? We could use even those lovely snowflakes to do our masking if we want to. Maybe. Maybe that won't look very good. So. All right. Taking a look at this a little bit more closely. Oh yeah, that's the problem. Here we go. We need this magic to be on top of those other layers. At least that color. All right, let's move on. I think this took me maybe a touch longer than I wanted it to. Throw some more magical snow right up here. Search for snow. Snowflake Real 2. There we go. We just add some fun magic off of that hand. And by the way, oh yeah, let's change color dynamics. So it's actually bouncing between the white. There we go. And the blue. There's our magic. All right, cool. Magic always needs to be on top. I want to have it affect her hair. Her hair should be white. It's a whole thing. Also, I have a whole other concept that I want to work on. So let's see if I can kind of tweak that hair. We'll play with the overall sort of color adjustments for the hair. Yeah, let's try this. Let's take white. A white color. So let's try this. I have this white, just kind of painting over the hair, right? Mainly the tips and all that stuff. Let's clip it. Shabam. It's being clipped. But now we're going to change this to color. So what that does is that removes the color from her hair. But let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, overlay looks great. This is literally what I'll do. I'll just scroll through this. And I always end up on overlay or soft light. But yeah, with her hair a little bit lighter, we can throw some, of course, blue in there. And with the blue, we'll clip it. See what other fun. There we go. Little bit of screen right in there. Just for kicks. Alrighty. Throw some hue and saturation. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get crazy. Let's colorize. And invert. B for brush. Paint. With white. So basically what I just did, and it's too much right now. Let's take down the saturation. But now, since rather than picking a brush and painting with like a different color each time, I went ahead and made an adjustment layer, and then I painted on that adjustment layer. Since it's an adjustment layer, hue and saturation adjustment layer, I can now sort of change the color. So I can give it more or less tint. And I find the less color, the better in this case. Hit B for brush, we can go in there and just kind of remove. This makes it nice. The variation in color is what's doing it. So, all right, we good? You guys feeling good? Maybe I'll try this again. Why not? This is the hair hue and saturation, and then we're gonna have the body hue and saturation. So we'll paint that all black. Okay. All right. Just make it awesome, right? Just make it awesome, huh? Can you do that, Paul, please? Just make it awesome. I'm doing my best. Let's go with that, right? Yeah, that's fine. Another thing I was going to do really fast is I wanted to actually have some crystallize some frostedness around her face, right? Because that would be cool. So we'll group this. We now have her, you know, her whole head. Let's see what we got over here in Illustrator. I have all this razzle dazzle. Let's take all this razzle dazzle from Illustrator. A bunch of crystallized effects and things. Looks kind of cool. It is in Illustrator. You know, coming in here, let's just paste it in. I'm gonna paste it in as pixels, right? Because otherwise it's gonna be way too huge. But there it is. Our crystallization that we could wrap around her face. Right? Right here. So we can clip it to her head, as you can see. But the main thing is we're going to distort it. We're going to use warp. Come down here. We'll select warp. And we'll just start pulling some of this into place. Like so. Just make it look cool, Paul. Just make it look cool. I just want to like a little bit of crystallization around her face like that. Right? So we've warped it into place. Right? We really just want to keep some of that white and not the blue. It's just going to be too much. So let's see what we get with color effects. Overlay, soft light, who knows? Kind of want to do something like that, right? Does that make sense? So cool. Quite literally cool. Rotate that around. B for brush. Just get that side. Like so. Cool. Kind of like that. So if you could imagine the whole body being covered that way, even down here, just be really awesome, right? And again, I might paste in that same pattern again. Rotate it around, clip it. And then do a warp as well. So we want to keep that kind of like bending around her body. Like that. All right, let's move on. Again, I like to do about 23, 24, 20, 2,800 different designs. That one's not working too well, so let's just turn that off. Okay, we're done. Okay, is that good? You guys get the idea? You guys learning stuff, right? Yeah, so let's just save that. Let's work on design number 2 since I have 20 minutes. Actually, less than that. That's okay, because you know what? We can go fast. Let's take this. Let's do this. This woman, we are going to do the same thing we did before. Remove background. Shabam. There we are. What else do we have? Oh, we have this. Let's paste that in here. Oh, I already have it in there. Let's get rid of it. But let's take... Ooh, this is another nice one. Getting my background squared away, which I have now. Now I have her. Let's convert her to smart objects, drop it in here, close that. We don't even need that file anymore. Technically, it is in here now, and since it's a smart object, we can resize it and have some fun. Right, so we have this image. Want to drop in maybe this within this background, or this background would be fun. I want her partially hidden, right? But she's not just going to be on a horse. I think a horse is like kind of boring, right? We want to get into something like surreal. So let's go into, say, some of the Adobe stock stuff I have. Let's go into nature, right? We have some wings. Yeah, we could throw some awesome wings on this horse. But guess what? It doesn't even need to be a horse. As I'll scroll down, let's see. Oh, yeah, a stag. Look at this awesome stag, right? Or a reindeer. This is a portrait of a majestic something or other. Red deer stag in the fall, right? Or even this one, really cool. Bam, right? So I love these horns. I want her riding a cool stag, or a reindeer would be also awesome. Yeah, we're missing some of the horse's nose, and it's good we don't need to worry about that because I'm going to use an entirely different animal. Shabam, bam, bah, ga, whoa. Go up there. Same thing. Guess what? Chaba. Remove background. Done. There. Oh yeah, that matches quite well. Make that a smart object. Going in here. Guess what? We don't need a whole lot of this. Now that I see it. So let's go in there. We're missing part of her head. That's a problem. Don't you hate it when that happens? Brush. Bring it back. Again, depending on what you're masking, might determine the color that you're using. I could put this on white. That's much easier to see. Come in there and just like grab some of that, and then switch to the refine edge. Grab some more of that hair, like so. All right, I need to remove this whole horse. Oh man. Hold down the Option key. Goodbye. Flying glowing piggy. What is that all about? Is that what you want? Chop it up. Let's use the object selection tool again. Set to lasso. Ooh, object finder. Okay, let's do this. It's finding this object. I'm going to hold down the Option key. I'm going to click. And then it removes that object. So yes, I was just using this to select. I lost a lot of this. That's okay. I can come in. It still recognizes her. So just to recap, I'm using right over here, our object selection tool. Object finder is turned on, and that's what it's highlighting. It's finding all these objects. It finds her. It finds the horse. It finds her. I don't see her foot. Guess what? I want to add it. I just click, and now it's added her, right? So that's one way to kind of jump in and grab some big parts of this image, right? Otherwise, I want to be a little more exact. Let's remove that. All right, done. Okay. All right. Oh, good, Fury. This feature helps you to work more efficiently when poster designing. Let's go to onion skinning because I actually want to be able to see her hand. So I'm going to turn off Object Finder. I'm just going to use lasso. Come in and find the hand and find this. And maybe find this. I probably need all of this. But I'll probably steal it another way. So anyway. All right, checking the time. I got 10 minutes. Here she is. She's on this huge red stag. It's just massive, right? And I love how grand it is, but it's almost too much. I mean, look at the size of her head compared to his. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the object-aware refine mode. Yeah, isn't that kind of cool? I think it's kind of cool. And by the way, we got extremely lucky when it came to this red deer. If at any time, so if it's not at the right angle, what I would typically do in this case is I would probably maybe use something like Puppet Warp. So that will allow me to kind of drop in some pins, pin down some areas, but really kind of maybe stretch out this part or give it an entirely different angle. If I want more motion, whatever the case may be, I could do that right in here. So we'll do something kind of like that. Just stretch it out a little bit so she's nice and comfortable on this lovely, looks like reindeer. Okay. Let's grab our background, put that on top, use our object selection tool, rectangle, just draw a rectangle around there. Bam. Get it. Get it. Get it. Afroja, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. That's fine. Friday, guys, it's Friday. It's been a long week. Yeah, it's been a super long week. We got Jason up next doing some video, audio, and how to become a contributor through Adobe Stock, which is going to be awesome. I'm into it. Click right there. There we have our masking, our trees in front. So we'll call that trees. We'll have this be our background. We'll put these other graphics, we'll nest them away, right? And I'll just put that at the top. That's like stuff I don't need, right? But now we have her and him squared away. And yeah, let's have some more fun in here. All right, you ready for this? Let's do this. Let's make this deer. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna do some more harmonization. So let's take this red deer. We're gonna go into neural filters and see what this can do. Hey Paul, let's use color harmonization. Bam, Frank, on cue, nailed it. Harmonization, shablamo. We have to always pick our layers. So that's why I went down and named this and I organized everything, because I'm like, okay, I need to find the real background that I actually used. Processing. That gets us in the right world, right? For a one-click option, that's pretty awesome. Let's crank up the strength, right? So it's removing more and more of that tone from just the stag. The stag's the only thing I'm working on. So I'll take that back down, maybe a little bit more, because I like seeing a little bit of his the color of his fur in there. I think that works. But I could always change this layer. Because guess what? I'm going to make this a smart filter. So again, we could look at the before and then the after. Okay, pretty impressive. Brightness, yeah, let's brighten it up just a touch. Not too much. Yeah, I don't really like what brightness is doing in this case. It's making it too bright. So we'll click OK. There's our smart filter. There we are. We'll do the same thing with her. Do your thing. Yeah, sure, that works. Done. But not quite. Because again, I wanted to work on the brightness and contrast right in here. I'm going to use curves, clip it to just that red deer, and start to play with this a little bit. We'll bring this down. Maybe this up a little bit. And this is another thing I'm going to try. Subject. There we go. I really want this color, so let's try this. There we go, little soft light. So I'm just giving this a little bit more of a blue look. And there we have it. All right, everybody. I have a couple minutes left. Shrink this down. Make it even lighter as well. It's supposed to be mysterious, like right back there. Right? Probably make it a little lighter, right? It needs some masking in here too. Gonna remove. You know, so it's like in the snow, something like that. And yeah, that's kind of what we have so far. Open to thoughts. Yeah, I have to. Thank you. I love it when I'm working and then I look up, and you guys have the exact same. You guys are thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking. Can you drag that? You should be able to alt and drag, yeah, from the neural filter from one to another. I'm sure I've done that before. But it could even be even lighter, by the way. All right, let's do one more thing. Let's do about 6 more things, because that's how I roll. Let's take this little kid. Look at that huge kid. Not so little anymore. I was like, what if there's like a child or something like that, like another subject, and I get it, this is really bright. Right, we can kind of tone that down. We can shift the tone. We could do a neural filter on that. But that's all I was thinking. Add another subject matter. Create some tension, because that's what it needs. It's like, yeah, this person back there, I don't know. She's an ice princess. She needs a crown. We need all those sparkles. We need all that stuff still, right? All right, there she is. It's a little bit better, but again, just dropped her in really fast to see if that works as part of the composition. So yeah, that's what I have. Yeah, we did a pretty good job. There she is. Let's remove her. Let's go back to our desktop because I want to open up this one as well. They both need some work, but hopefully you learned something today, right? Just making some surrealistic scenes, they both need a little work, right? But we have sort of two fairly decent concepts, and the cool thing is, since I've learned to do a couple things, I can take my skills from one to the next and all that good stuff. You get the idea. Right? I don't know what's happening here. What is that crazy color? This crazy color in here. Let's desaturate that. Right? But that's what I do. I'd probably add some of this wonderful magic. Thanks to Kyle T. Webster's brushes. I'd add some magic in here. So, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this as much as I have creating as well. It was a lot of fun. So, thank you so much for hanging out. Stay tuned for Jason's doing a little snowfall in here. Live stream up next. And yeah, become a contributor would be awesome. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys all very soon. See ya. Bye.